I ain't never got a flex. All I get is checks. Buy a private jet. Where we going next? I'm too up every day. 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 I ain't never got a flex. All I get is checks. Buy a private jet. Where we going next? I'm too up every day. I'm too up every day. I'm too up every day. I'm too up every day.
Yo, what's good with it, Pack family? This your boy, Mr. Check My Resume. Came to bring you my 0-day watch list for tomorrow, July the 15th. For the Alpha Pack members, we went through our 0-day expiration class where we went through a number of tickers and came up with a pretty good set of tickers that we're going to monitor for setups for tomorrow. So let's get into it. I do have quite a number of tickers relative to what I like to put out on the 0-day watch list. And that's mainly because I have a mix of both upside and downside setups for tomorrow. And man, they're looking solid. So let's get right into it. First one on my list I want to bring up is Las Vegas Sands, and that's LVS is the ticker. So really quick here on LVS. Looking at a couple of things here. First off, the Chicago setup here on the 4-hour. Looking at an entry on the 4 above $34.31. Also, just looking at continuation on the day, we do have a broadening formation just above the trigger point, which is also the point of control here on the 4-hour. So we're looking for this level. If we do get triggered, we would push above this broadening formation. So really looking for that continuation. And then also just at the week, just looking at potential long position there over that trigger point of the week high. So maybe potentially for a 1-2-2 going into next week. But we'll see what happens. First things first, it's Chicago here on the 4-hour. If we get the trigger, then we could be cooking with grease here on this one. So LVS, Las Vegas Sands. Next one here, I want to talk about the big dog, Amazon. So, well, it ain't the big dog no more, seems like. But anyway, here looking at Amazon, got a couple setups here, inside setups on the 4-hour as well as the day. First off, we got the 212 setup here on the 4-hour above 110.88. Looking for this one, potentially push it up to around the target area around 113.23, potentially there. But if we do get, really strong bullish activity tomorrow, we could see this one push up. But I'm also looking at this inside day setup. We got a 212 as well on the day above 111.18. So we've got two inside setups, potential movement on Amazon, and we've got room to run back to like 120. So if we really get some good movement tomorrow on Amazon, that could really push up discretionary too as well. So keep an eye on Amazon. Could be a good indication of what we're gonna see tomorrow. Next one here, my Friday special. You all know, especially the OG Pack members, we like to play target on Fridays. Hasn't given us many opportunities recently, but as always, we see the opportunity on target. We want to take it seriously. So first off on target, I'm looking at the 212 potentially on the day with this beautiful inside day today. Looking at entry above 146.55 on target. That is the level that I'm looking at to take entry on. Also on the week though, we do have potential 212 on the week. Or is that 312, sorry, on the week here above 150.13. So if we do get bullish activity and this thing starts to run, that'll be the next trigger point there for the week. So I like target. It's a Friday special, likes to perform well on Fridays. Another one that we've picked up on that likes to do well on Friday is SBUX. So here on SBUX, we got continuation on the 4-hour. But also on the day, we're looking at this inside day potentially here, and that's really attractive to me. Looking at a potential entry above 78.37 to give us a 212 on the day. We do have, looks like a failed 2 down on the week. Looks like we wanted to go retest that broadening formation just below. So looking at SBUX to possibly push up tomorrow if we do get the discretionary move as it currently stands. Another one in discretionary I want to take a look at is McDonald's. So big run continuation on the 4-hour. It's very similar to SBUX, has this inside day setup here. Looking at an entry potentially on the day above 253.10. We do have a broad formation just above its head, so that'll be something that you need to monitor if you want to take the trade. But if we do claim that level and get above the broadening formation, we do have room to run there, all the way up to like 258.85 or somewhere around that. So not to say that it will go that far, but that is the potential on that move. But you'll need to get over this first broadening formation level before you would really feel like you're moving. So anyway, moving on to staples. So just cover some discretionaries. So moving over to staples, let's take a look at Chunky Soup. So first off here on Chunky Soup, CPB is the ticker. We got a 4-hour potential 212 above $49.15. Looks like we had a TTL today, and buyers were present. They say they like it at this price level and they're buying it. We also got a rev strat on the day, 2 rev above $49.16. And we are in force on the week. We did have a pullback from yesterday's high, but it looks like buyers are present. So looking for CPB to continue tomorrow. Looks strong. It's like a no doubt about it. Next one here we want to look at is KO, Coke Boy. Shout out to that boy Browns as well as Lisa. Calling out this Coke during the class today. Looking at continuation on the 4-hour, but looking at entry here on the day, and that's a rev strat. Looking at a 2-2 above 62.25 would be your level for entry. As we talked about during the class, looking at possibly taking this one back to point of control at $63. You have to do your calculation, do your math on the Analyze tab to see what that ROI will bring you back, but that should be some pretty good chicken there on Coke. All right, last one I have here in the staples area, and that is KHC. That is ketchup, Kraft Heinz. So looking at one setup particularly here on Kraft Heinz, and that is the daily. Looking at a Chicago 312 on the day above $38.86. As you can see, it looks like we have room to run. We got room to make a move here. So not that I think it will make its way all the way up to that $41 level where the broadening formation is, but we've got potential for this to, make a nice move up. So, I'll be looking to target this first target here around $39.44 or maybe a tad above it. If we're really strong in staples tomorrow, then this one could blow. So, like that KHC there. All right, so moving on from staples, let's go into communications really quick. Let's take a look at that Trump, that DWAC. This one here has been moving, showing relative strength against what the rest of the sector has been doing for the most part. So I really like the way this one's showing strength. We're looking at a potential 312 on this Momo hammer here above $30 even. As you can see, the macros are pretty much in continuity except for the year. And we had this double inside day break today. Looking for continuation going into tomorrow. So DWAC looks solid, looks clean, showing relative strength. Next one here is Verizon. Verizon, we've got continuation on the 4-hour. We're looking at a rev strat entry on the day above $50.56. Really clean setup here, looking potentially to take this one back to point of control on the day at $50.81. And then that target, our first pivot would be at 51.09. So those will be the levels I'll be looking at for a trade on VZ tomorrow. And if we get strong action out of communications, then we could push even beyond that because we do have room to move on this one. So again, we've got room to run. We're at the bottom of a BF. So we do have the potential for this one to go crazy. So we'll see how tomorrow opens up and what it does. Could be one of those situations where we gap up and then it comes back to fill the gap. So that would suck, but that potentially what could happen as well. Next one, I want to talk about Twitter, and this is a downside move on Twitter. Looking at a Chicago to the downside on Twitter, 312 Chicago below 36.22. And then also on the day, we're looking at a 212 to the downside below 36.19. So you got the 4-hour and the day triggers like pennies apart. And so this one right here looks like it may want to go back and retest the bottom of that broad information. You got a first target of $34.80, which is the low from today or yesterday actually. So that may be potentially one, and then there's a gap below that down to what is this, 34.39. So you've got some potential on that one. That one looked like it could show you something. So don't sleep on Twitter. Wrong. There we go. So moving out of communications, let's talk about tech really quick. Information technology. We're gonna take a look at PayPal. This is another downside setup here. Looking at the shooter on the 4 as well as the inside day. Looking at a potential entry below 69.37 on the 4-hour, and then moving over to the day. Also looking at a daily entry below $68.71. So if this one continues to move how it's been pretty much all week and over the course of the last, I don't know, 3 quarters, whatever, 6 months, 8 months, this one here could continue to push down. So like the way that PayPal sets up for the puts going into tomorrow. Next one here I want to take a look at is D-Dog in the tech sector. And on D-Dog, similar setup. We're looking at a 212 on the 4 below $93.40. Again, just looking for trigger. We could take this one back to the first target of $91.56. And then also just looking for continuation on the day. And we are enforced to the downside on the week, and we have a shooter on the month. So this one's just telling us it's going down. It's going to keep going down. So now moving out of tech, we want to get into healthcare really quick. There's a couple tickers there I want to bring up, and first one is J&J, Johnson & Johnson. Looks like we hit a low this morning after the gap down and just got bought up. So we're looking at potential rail strat on the day above 176.01, and I'll be looking to take this one back to the 177.76 level, or just above that around 178 at the broad information level. So now what I'd be looking at, excuse me, for J&J. And next one I want to talk about here in the healthcare is CVS. And looking at CVS, again, off today's gap down, we gapped down into a broadening formation. Looks like at that level, buyers showed up and said, hey, we like this price point on CVS. So they bought it up. It went to go fill the gap, did not completely fill the gap today. So we got rail strap tomorrow on the day above $92.98. We do have the complete gap fill at 93.07, but we do have our first pivot at 94.89. So with the broadening formation just below that level, so you got some potential pivots on the way up on CVS. So I just be really looking for relative strength to see if it continues what it showed today, or was this just a flash in the pan? But I like the way the CVS sets up to move back to this next broadening formation range after the gap down today. So again, I like that setup, CVS. Moving on, let's get into industrials. There's one ticker on there, was on my weekly list, and that's Lowe's. Lowe's did trigger, kind of pulled back, gap down, and pushed up today, went to fill the gap. Very strong recovery off the gap down. So we're looking for continuation on the 4. Also on the day, we're looking at a 212 above 182.95. And I'm looking for this one to potentially push up to this 187, 188 level, especially, if we get the bullish activity we saw this afternoon or just today, I think this one will push up to that broad information level. So that's one to keep your eye on. It is one of the Dow Wow alumni from these 0 days, so we know what Lowe's can do. So just keep it on the tuck. Don't rush into those decisions though. And then the last ticker that I want to bring up is one energy ticker. You probably know what it is, and that is Oxy. Looking at Oxy for a 212 potentially on the 4-hour off this low above 57.33, which will give you that entry. First pivot would be at 57.72. And then if you were to go and look at the day, you've got the rev strap potentially above 57.72 with your first pivot at 59.21. And so I'll be looking at Oxy potentially if we do get futures. I'll be taking a look at the oil futures in the morning to see how we're looking there. So if we do get some bullish activity on energy, that would be something I'll be paying attention to. And that concludes my list for tonight. And just keep your head on the swivel, develop your plan, go and analyze your contract so you know what your return on investment will be for these particular setups, so you can come ready to go tomorrow and just focus on execution. So with that, I'll leave it with y'all people. Those of you in the Discord, you will get my watch list momentarily. So with that, y'all have a great evening. Catch y'all in the morning. Peace.